Hey everyone, Michelle here, and I am here with you today with a process video for my creative scrapbook, and I am using the March limited edition kit. And so that kit has a lot of, it's mainly 49 and market toddler time, and so for this layout I thought I would focus on some of the little plain elements that are in the kit. Let me see if I can put my hands on some of them real quick. So like these guys. And so I have this picture of my daughter when she was a wee little one in this toy airplane. And so I thought that would be a great picture to use for this. I also pulled out this tag that had some planes on it. And I started tearing paper before I realized that I wasn't filming yet. So I tore this off of the top here, but I want to bring this down a little bit and have a white piece in between the paper. You'll see what I mean once as we get going here. So this white part that is going to be the base for the picture is going to be lower. Some of this is going to be up here, and then there'll just be probably white or some sort of neutral in between there. I still have some of these blue flowers, so I'll be using those probably. And as a title, I still have a chipboard piece. But now that I look at it, that's probably not going to work because it's our story. And so I will be using some of the pieces that come in the ephemera kit to create my title. And so it has, I still have adorable left, I have sweetest, and color-wise that might work out the best. And then I can always like layer it on something. We'll see how it goes. So that is my plan. So let's get to work.
All right, so you can see kind of what I was talking about. I have that white strip up in the across the top, and I have picked out a couple of blue pieces just to trim it with. And I wanted something to ground my planes with, so I had a cloud die cut, and so I used one of the papers from the Winnie the Pooh aspects of the collection to create those clouds. And this is kind of what I have in mind. Obviously, things are a bit scattered right now, but these are the primary elements I'm going to be using. So now I just kind of have to figure out what is going to go where and um, and what else I might want to add to it. So I have that. I've matted my photo on a couple of different um, pattern papers. I really like that element that I was just working with, the uh, uh, envelopes with the frames and the flowers. I've used all of them, I think, on my variety of layouts this month, just because it just gives you gives you a direction as far as where to put your important elements, whether it's your title, whether you want to do journaling there, whether you want to do an embellishment cluster. And so I hope that they do more of those in the future. But this is kind of what I'm thinking of for my title is the sweetest toddler. I also want to add in as many of the plain elements as I can. So I'm going to use that little card with the plane on it. And, you know, nothing goes with planes like flowers. So going to tie those in as well. So I'm going to have my flowers primarily down at that bottom right so that they don't fight with my clouds and what is going to be going on up top. So I am going to go ahead and ink um, my clouds. I believe I used chipped sapphire for those. And that whole, like you can see, of course, brought the piece of the paper that is meant for your photo or an important part, the white out square part down. So I'm going to actually bring my picture and all that down even further to give my clouds and airplanes up above a little bit more room since that tag is kind of sticking up a bit. And I have also mounted my picture and its various mats on foam. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of stamp. But there's plenty going on in this layout, but I just wanted a little bit more interest. And so I'm using this little X's stamp on my clouds and in the areas that my embellishment clusters are going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and space everything out kind of where I want it, and then I'm going to adhere it off camera. And so I'm playing with it a bit as far as where I want things to go. And I really like how this is coming out. And while I'm working on it, I'm going to tell you about a struggle I had today because I did two layouts this day. Do you ever have a day where every time you look for something, you have misplaced it? That was my day today. And I can't tell you how many elements I lost. And I could say it's because I'm a mess, but I'm always a mess and I don't lose things like I lost today. But anyway, hopefully if you've had one of those days, tell me about it in the comments because I'd love to think that I'm not the only one. So, I have some flowers, the remaining little, I used almost every flower in this kit. So I'm punching out the last of them out of my laser cuts to add along the sides here. I'm also going to add a couple of kiddos to the top left and to the bottom right. And that little boy on the scooter, that's one of the ones that I lost for the longest time. But I like the sense of movement that he gives. And so I'm going to use him. I'm going to figure out where I want my planes, and then I'm also going to add in some word strips, which is what I think I am looking for now. Yep. And so I'm going to use white in this layout, and I'm going to stick them primarily in the clouds just to give those just a little bit more interest as well. So I am looking for just a couple like it. So now I'm cutting out some of the flowers out of um, uh, uh, the label sheet the packaging sheet that comes with the bits and pieces. And it's not that this kit has so many embellishments. I am just a flower girl. If you met me in person, you wouldn't think, oh, you're a floral, flowery type of person. But when it comes to layouts, I do depend on flowers quite a bit. And so I use each and every one. I'm also going to cut out this ticket because I want to add just a little bit of blue down below to balance out the blue in the clouds and the blues in the florals I use up in the top left. And I also have a couple of kiddos I'm going to add above those flowers. So they're going to be sitting and watching the sky. Um, and I'm taking a look at where my planes are going to go and I'm going to take it off screen. And I've adhered everything at this point and not a lot of changes. So I've added a heart down below. I've added a sheep in a couple different places, and now I'm just going to add some white gesso to my flower centers just to lighten those up just a tiny bit. And that is, for the most part, my completed layout. I am going to add some white splatters, and so that is coming up next. But if you have not checked out my creative scrapbook, I encourage you to do so because the kits are really well curated and there's different styles for different styles of scrapbookers. So, like or subscribe. I appreciate the support. I appreciate any comments. And I hope you all have a great day. Here are some close ups.